Hello everyone and welcome back guys to AOR. We're finally back. Obviously I uploaded my time trials, I think it was yesterday or the day before at the time of this video going up. And here today we're for my evaluation race. Now, this one, I'll be honest with you, I was certainly very much looking forward to it, but also a little bit worried at the end of the day. Qualifying, I'm not even going to bother showing you. It was an absolute mess. I ran a lap early on in the session and then butchered my final run. So we start all the way down in P15. But yeah, coming into this race though, quite looking forward to it as much as any sane person can look forward to a race at Bahrain. It's just not a particularly fun track in my opinion. For those of you that don't really know how these races work, effectively it is just a 50% race as a pace test on F1 2019, you know. No damage, no safety cars, no potential weather changing or anything like that. It is just a nice... It is, yeah, just a pace test. The only thing that, you know, I wish could be changed would just be ghosting, you know, just so we don't trip over each other all the time. But yeah, we are starting all the way down in P15 for this one. The start of my F1 2019 AOR journey. I'm looking to try and get back into it a little bit more once again, you know, F1 2019. Hopefully a new chance, some new leagues, everything like that. And this was, honestly, I think the first 50% race I'd done online in about 6 months, there or thereabouts. I think the last one I did was probably February, might have been, you know, early March. Yeah, I really haven't done much on the F1 games in recent times. You know, it's been a lot more sort of Forza, iRacing, all that sort of stuff as well on the side. But here we are then on the grid, ready for the Bahrain Grand Prix. I'm in the Renault this time around. It's very, very rare to see me not in the Williams. But we are then on the grid. The lights are coming on now for the Bahrain evaluation race. It's 5 lights, and it is lights out and away we get going there. A fairly decent start, rather surprisingly. Luckily, where I'm not racing the AI, I can actually match most of the people as we head down towards turn 1. Both the Ferraris have already managed to kill each other before we even get to turn 1. Not too sure how they've managed that one there. And as they head through the first corner there, I'm just going to get pinched between Eagle and Constant Ryan there. Not too sure what that was all about. I think Constant Ryan ran a little bit, you know, understeered through the corner. I think Eagle was trying to chop off a bit too much as well there. Luckily no damage, or I would have been basically out of this race at the very beginning there. Constant Ryan runs deep in towards turn 4 there, and that's going to be us up into P12 of this race there. So an okay little start to this race so far here. Around the outside of Eagle there, once again just a little bit worried that he'd slam the door shut there, so we do hold on to P12 through the next couple of corners here. The McLaren Grizzly Bear runs wide on the exit of the corner there, but does get good drive down this next straightaway here as we can have a look up the inside of Eagle there. Grizzly locks up, runs deep there, and well, that's going to be another cheeky double overtake for ourselves now into P10 of this race. So a good solid start, you know, an opening half a lap where we've made up 5 places already here, 2 of them from Ferraris that couldn't even make the start line. Not too sure what that was all about between the pair of them. I think for a lot of this race they'd actually just spend most of it tripping over each other as well, so really not ideal between Leobot and LGS there as we head now down in towards the final couple of corners of lap 1 though. We appear to have survived the opening lap of this race here. But yeah, this one, you know, this season is certainly going to be a lot about rebuilding for myself. You know, like I said, I'm very, very rusty on the F1 games, you know, new wheel, everything like that as well. You know, just everything is different from what it used to be as well, so, you know, everything like that. You know, I'm still trying to work out wheel settings and everything on F1 2019, you know, for optimum, you know, race pace, everything like that. You know, it's that horrible balance between career mode where you just want to be quick but also fairly relaxed as well. You know, it's nothing too sweaty. And then obviously online where it's very, very sweaty, high competition, everything like that. You've really got to try and find the balance as well. You know, my driving style as well definitely needs some work on F1 2019. You know, the pace is okay. Generally, you know, sort of race pace and consistency isn't too bad so far, you know, for how little online running I've done. It's just the element of tyre wear, I think, for me, and I know a lot of you guys complain about this in my career mode as well, but tyre wear is something I really, really struggle with on the F1 games. I don't know, well, no, I say on the F1 games, it's only really been F1 2018 and F1 2019. 2017 and 16, I was, you know, not to toot my own horn, but I was fantastic on the tyres. I could keep them going for as long as I needed. F1 2018, though, seemed to be a bit of a change for me, unfortunately, and yeah, haven't really been able to have the same sort of success on F1 2019 either. You know, without consciously thinking about it, I really do start to burn through the tyres. It's just my driving style. I like to have quite an oversteery car. I like to get the front end dialed in. You know, I hate understeer and things like that. And yeah, just unfortunately the oversteer really, really does burn through the tyres if I don't keep it under control all too well. In towards the final couple of corners though, Iron Weasel's going to go for a very late lunge on Callum G there. And well, unfortunately I'm going to get caught out by that one. Eagle's going to run to the side of me as well as we try to rejoin, and that is certainly not going to help my tyres or anything like that out in the early stages of this race. I 1 minute 35.1 at the end of lap 2, and I think Scott is going to try and look up the inside down in towards turn 1 there as well. We're going to try and hook it up around the outside, and that's what we do. We hold on now to P10 of this race there, and over the next few laps, you know, the pace to Eagle would be fairly consistent. We'd be all over the back of him for a few laps, and then just as those hards really start to come into their own, he'd be able to pull out a little bit of a margin of myself, and by this point of the race, we'd actually caught up to my teammate Jamie. You know, by lap 8 of this race, he'd been up in sort of P5, and just his pace had really sort of slacked off over the last few laps before the pit stop window here. So hopefully we can try and get past my teammate as soon as possible. Our pace, you know, we've always been racing with each other. You know, we've been speaking to each other since F1 2016, and the pace in time trials as well have been really, really close between the pair of us, as well as I'm sure you guys will have seen. I think over all 3 laps we were like less than a tenth away from each other, you know, combined. So it was going to be really, really close. You know, I think we are hoping if we're the same split that we can try and go teammates for this season, but we'll wait and see about that one, as well as down in towards the final couple of corners of lap 8 here, and we're now all over the back of Jamie there. He takes a bit too much curb out of the penultimate corner here, and are we going to be able to get any sort of run down in towards the final turn? Another thing that I'd really not quite got right in this race would be the setup here. It's through the final corner. You're going to see just how little time we can gain down the front straightaway here, and I know Jamie's got the slipstream of the DRS from someone else as well, but we were gaining nothing, and we were much, much closer than he was to Eagle. They're breaking down in towards turn 1. The Jamie's just going to brake a little bit earlier than I was expecting there, and well, in a bit of a panic there, we accidentally run slightly into the back of Eagle. And you know, I've known people to brake a little bit early into corners. I don't think I've really ever witnessed someone brake that early in towards turn 1 there. And in Jamie's defense, he said, you know, the DRS, everything like that, he didn't want to overshoot there, as he sends it back up the inside of myself down at turn 4, though. We're going to get the switchback move, though. Hulkenberg and Daniel Ricciardo this time around comes out on top there. But yeah, apologies to Eagle for that little bit of a punt down in towards turn 1. I basically had to take evasive action from Jamie there and just locked up the front tyres. Hopefully, you know, with more practice, you know, you can sort of panic a bit less in those situations as well there. But yeah, we would be back up now into P8 of this race. We've made good progress in the first third of this Grand Prix there, all the way up into P8 from P15 on the grid there. And by the end of lap 11, we were all the way up to P4 here. Really, we were able to get the medium compound going a little bit further than quite a few other cars in this race. Absolutely finesse the pit lane entry there, get it slowed down absolutely, you know, spectacularly into the walls of the pit. Now, I think we were doing 48 miles an hour on entry there. You cannot really ask for much better than that. There is now coming through on the pit lane. You can see, not a fan of the Renault pit lights, I'll be honest with you. They look absolutely hideous, in my opinion there. And you can see as we head now back down the pit lane, are we going to come out in too much traffic? I think we're going to get Adam Lee and LC Speed Demon are going to get back ahead of me here at this stage of the race. I know Adam Lee's got to make his second pit stop quite soon. He's gone for a double soft stint. Not too sure what the plan was behind that one there. But yeah, he does come out just ahead of myself and LC Speed Demon there. Leo Bot and LGS, like I said, would spend the next stint, you know, a lot of the first half of this Grand Prix just tripping over each other. And by lap 15, you can see we're up into P8 once again of this Grand Prix and making big gains on LC Speed Demon as well here. And a lot of this race, you know, it wasn't the most action-packed race in the world. You know, it is just a pace test, everything like that. So we were setting, you know, fairly consistent lap times. I will show all of my laps at the end of the session here as we head through the first couple of corners of lap 15 here. Are we going to be able to get close enough to LC Speed Demon to hopefully try and line up a move, potentially down the back straightaway, probably more likely down the front straight as we head through the next couple of corners here. So you're already half a second up in Sector 1 alone here, and the pace on these hards in the early stages really actually quite consistent at the start here. I know I was in a party with ESR and Maze who actually went on to win this race at the end of the session there, and yeah, we've really consistent on these tyres through the opening few laps here. Sadly though, once again the tyre wear would be the main issue here. We'd really just shred through them once more here as LC Speed Demon now, we are all over the back of him as we head down in towards Sector 3 of this lap here. Are we going to be able to line up any sort of move quite soon here? He's definitely holding us up just at the moment. They're 7 tenths up now as we head in towards the final couple of corners of the lap here. And I know what a lot of people are thinking, it's probably just the slipstream that's giving me this whole advantage here. But no, we did equal this lap as well once we got into the clear air. So clearly, you know, we weren't even gaining that much from the slipstream as well. They're out of the final corner. Speed Demon just runs a little bit wide over the curbs there, and that's going to give me the opportunity, going to give me the run as we make the run down towards turn 1 there. We're going to slot up the inside, move back over to the racing line as we head in towards the first braking zone there. And we now move ourselves up into P7 of this race here. And yeah, really, really happy with the pace so far. That we, like I said, actually set another 31.2 in this Grand Prix on this lap as well here. So yeah, really, really happy with that one. And by the end of lap 19, you can see Callum G just up the road there sets the fastest lap of the Grand Prix as well on a set of the medium compound tyres here. And well, we'd be struggling on this set of the mediums towards the end of this Grand Prix. We'd have Leo Bot now all over the back of me as well. He's going to go for a dive in towards turn 1 that gets car slowed down absolutely beautifully though as we head through the first couple of corners there. And I wasn't really going to try and do too much in terms of attacking there. He's actually got the DRS once again with our higher wings. Nothing we're going to be able to do to try and get a move down the inside there. Actually lock the rears as we head down in towards turn 2 and sorry, turn 3 and turn 4 there as well. By the end of lap 22, we're actually going to dive in onto a set of the soft compound tyres right the way through to the end of this Grand Prix. And it was a little bit of a gamble, I'll be honest. You know, the mediums, sorry, the hards could have potentially made it through to the end of this race, but it was going to be tight, and I really didn't just want to have the last couple of laps where we absolutely fell off the cliff. So I was going to dive in onto a set of the soft tyres and have a bit of fun, hopefully, between now and the end of this Grand Prix here. Hopefully we can come out in some clear air there. You can see LGS and I think Adam Lee are going to be coming down the start-finish straight here, and I think they are actually going to get out ahead of me here at this late stage of the race. We got 6 laps to go on this set of soft tyres. The LGS, yeah, both of them fly past me there as we head down in towards turn 1 here. And I think LGS on that set of the hard compound tyres, there's not really much he's going to be able to do. Adam Lee as well, I think fairly new set of medium compounds on those car as well. That LGS, sorry, plays it defensive in towards turn 4 there and just lets us both by there. I think he's just focusing on his own race pace here with just a few laps to go here. In lap 23 of 29, Adam Lee now all over the back of him. Just see how much time we gain with this soft compound tyres there. And well, we're almost running to the back of him as we head down in towards the hairpin here. We need to try and get the power on the exit here. And what are we going to be able to do on Adam Lee here? Are we going to be able to try and make a move work over the next couple of laps here? He's a little bit late onto the brakes there. Doesn't quite get the car down on the apex, but he's certainly giving himself a good drive on the exit of the corner there. But moves to the inside, lets me by as well there, so I will certainly take that one. And we now move ourselves back up into P10 of this race here. Really, really happy with this so far today. But now we've really got to try and just push to the end of this race here. We would set a couple of PBs. I think we get down, actually set the fastest lap of the Grand Prix momentarily towards the end. I think we set a 1 minute 30.0 here, but you know, sadly it was a lap with a few mistakes. We actually set another 1 minute 30.1 the lap after as well there. So clearly, you know, we could have probably got down towards a mid 29 with our PB there. And you can see end of lap 24, like I said, a 1 minute 30.092 here. We had a big mistake in towards the hairpin in sector 2 there, and hopefully as we come towards the end of this Grand Prix, you know, we can just set some good consistent lap times. Sadly, the tyres would just fall apart with a couple of laps to go of this race there. You can see how much time that we had closed up on LC Speed Demon. Now Adam Lee retires from the race right at the very end there as well. We make a big mistake on the exit of the hairpin. Now almost put it in the wall, almost sack it there, but luckily we do keep it out of the tyre barrier there. Like I said, ESR Mains does win the Grand Prix Connor there. Good race by him, although he had already done one race at Bahrain here today as well there. I think Martin would come through for P2 ahead of, I think, more so in P3 there. And realistically, you know, we could have held on to P8 of that Grand Prix. You know, we took a bit of a gamble on a set of the soft compound tyres here. We did make up some good time on Speed Demon. I think we took about 8 seconds out of him over those last 3 laps there, and especially considering a few more, sorry, about the last 6 laps there, and especially considering the mistakes we made towards the end of the Grand Prix there. You know, if we'd ran a completely clean stint, we could have probably piled on some pressure towards him at the end of the day there. But considering we started down in P15, we got involved in that spinner on lap 2 as well. P15 to P10 at the end of the day. That I will certainly take that one at the end of the race there. And yeah, quite happy with that. Like, at the time of recording this, I don't actually know what split I'm going to end up being for F1 this season. I'm sure by the time this video goes out, I will probably know. I think at the time of recording this, splits are going to be announced today. So, you know, certainly quite excited for that one as well there. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching this video. Get yourself subscribed if you're new around here as well. Like I said, I will just give you guys a quick look at my PBs from the race as well there. But yeah, that was quite a good race at the end of the day. You know, a bit of action at the start, you know, certainly a bit more at the start than towards the end of the race. It certainly simmered down towards the end there. But yeah, happy with the pace overall. I think roughly I'm going to be about sort of F3 pace, I guess, there or thereabouts. A bit of a drop back from the F1 splits of last season there. But, you know, F3, I'll certainly be happy with that. Hopefully this season I can sort of fight for race victories and things like that as well here. You know, I'd like to, you know, actually fight for wins once again in AOR as well after my first ever winless season back in Split 1, obviously last season as well. They're not really what I wanted at the end of the day, but ultimately, you know, the pace wasn't there. I didn't have enough time to practice throughout a lot of the season as well. So, you know, we'll continue on and try to come back stronger this season. Hopefully a bit of a rebuild on F1 2019. But yeah, there we go then. That is the end of the Bahrain Grand Prix. Actually move up to level 5 as well. Having a look at my laps though, nothing all too out of this world, but, you know, fairly consistent, fairly quick. And I'll be happy with that one. I accidentally picked up a couple of penalties right at the end of that Grand Prix as well there. Not too sure. You know, it kind of all fell apart in terms of track limits right at the end of that Grand Prix there. But yeah, having a look at you know, the laps, fairly consistent. A nice good stint on the mediums and the hards there, and obviously a short one on the softs at the end of the day. Had some running on all 3 tyres. But yeah, that is it then for this video. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed. Get yourself subscribed if you're new around here as well and you don't want to see more F1 2019 action on the channel. But I will be back next time for what is most likely going to be the Australian Grand Prix.